This week we have George. He's
Hello.
That's George interrupting. It's going to be a long day.
Oh, absolutely.
George is one of our cooks in the back. He actually followed the company from San Diego. So we're going to be teaching him a little bit about our color groupings today. We're going to start with our red family. We're going to let him pick a flavor out of that. We're going to go over kind of how our flavoring hierarchy works. He's going to pack a bowl. We're going to smoke. We're going to get to know him a little bit better.
Sounds good.
Cool. So we're going to start with our reds. So your red is going to be your lightest, and it's going to go all the way down to purple using like a Roji bib system. Each family is going to have separate members. Okay. So a red-white is going to be lighter than a red-brown, which is still lighter than a red-black.
Okay. In
your lightest here, you've got your red-white, which is going to be your tropical flavors. And within that, you're going to have pineapple, coconut, guava, tropical flavors.
So melons are going to be the red-brown, which basically just means that it's going to be stronger than the red-whites. Melon blend, watermelon, summer solstice celebration, Tuscan cantaloupe, and papaya sorbet.
And then in our strongest, you've got a red-black, which is going to be our bunched fruits.
Okay.
So you've got a strawberry, 2005 blueberry, raspberry, blue gumball 2.0, brambleberry, and Aussie juice. So, I mean, you could theoretically have a red pipe that had all of this stuff in it. We just go that extra mile and really break it down into separate families.
Yeah. So then let's say, how far into the rainbow of colors would you go if you only had one pipe?
So if you only had one pipe, that's where it gets really difficult. If you managed to have a second pipe, you would basically have mint and floral and everything else.
Everything else,
yeah.
Okay.
So you would take the two on the furthest end of the spectrum and group those and then have one for everything else.
Would I be okay if I had, let's say, two different bowls for the florals and the mints and then...
Yeah.
But can I use the same pipe or will it just ruin the pipe too with the heavy mints?
I don't know that it'll ruin the pipe, but the amount that you're gonna have to clean it, some of those transient flavors are still gonna stick.
Gotcha.
And then when we're smoking here, we've got, this cabinet is all of our red. So all of our tubs as well have it written, the color variation here, the family that it's in. We're gonna open and pack a strawberry. Randy, you wanna go ahead and show them how we open that?
Wait, so you just don't take it like this and just bite it
Yeah,
open?
No,
okay.
So you just cut the end out like that.
These get discarded pretty easily, but if you actually take the time to read it, we've got a help number on there that somebody will answer that if you call it. People seem to be shocked by that pretty frequently.
Yeah.
And then there's just some general instructions for storage and smoking and all that stuff. So it's a good tool to start if you're having issues. So before you even do anything, try and get all this extra shit out of here.
That's all the good stuff.
And then cut it close like this, because then you're only dumping it out here instead of having to clear all this space.
Nick already got that, cut and set up. He squeezed as much of the juice as he could into the bottom of the bag. So now all I pretty much have to do is get my container that has not been used for anything else. Just squeeze all that out of there.
Get all this over here, and you can just kind of. There you go.
Now we're gonna stir the tobacco.
People here stir, so they dump it and they'll just kind of mush it around and then pack it.
Yeah.
And while that first bowl could be good, you want it all to be glistening evenly because then your flavoring is distributed evenly.
So there we go.
So now we got our strawberry out. You've been through the bowl testing crash course before.
I have.
So if you want to go ahead and pack this for us, we'll smoke it and we'll kind of go over some stuff just kind of as you're packing.
We're gonna give it one last good stir.
So Nick had brought up that, you did go through the whole bowl packing crash course.
Yeah.
Didn't you pack a super abysmal bowl?
Wow, you actually bring that up.
I'm going to defend him here because he did pack one of the worst bowls I've ever smoked. But until that point, he was the favorite.
We had the mixes, and I think I had like pineapple and something else. And I went from first to last in one episode.
You went from first to eliminated.
Yeah.
That bowl was bad enough that it bumped you completely out.
Make sure to pack all the tobacco up tight against the walls.
Look at that, we actually have foil right now. Do your foil test
my
here.
foil test, packing it down. Make sure I try to get my 2/4 width. I kind of stretch out the foil, make sure to try to even it out as much as possible. Try to get it tight, and then I kind of just use my hands and slide down the rim. And do my holes. I just put a blindfold on and I just keep stabbing. Try to do like a little angle, because I find if I go straight down, it kind of tears on me. So. You ever light a hookah in your car and smoke it while you're driving?
Yeah, so really interesting story. Gabe, who is behind the camera, Jacob Panta, our lovely Gabe here, we were driving to San Diego to see Eric. Turns out I was going like 85 in a 40 or something dumb. And at the same time, Gabe was sitting in my front seat with a full-ass KM hookah smoking in between his legs. Finally, by the time I saw the officer was trying to pull me over, we pulled over and I rolled down the windows and just smoke is like fucking pouring out of the car. He's like, "Oh, can you get out of the car, please?" Yeah, sure. Yeah. So I get out and he looks and saw it was a hookah and he's like, "Oh, okay."
Yeah,
we were super lucky.
Oh, you got spiffy.
Actually, your holes are really fucking clean. Good job. All right, so we're gonna set up a pipe, and I think we're gonna move into the salon and we'll bullshit and smoke this thing and make sure it doesn't kill us.
All right.
Hell yeah.
So we've got the strawberry that you packed, which is it's actually pretty good. I mean, you know how to pack a bowl, so.
I come over here, you make me pack a bowl if I'm allergic to strawberries. You got me smoking strawberries. It's like you're trying to kill me.
I feel like that's really important to note. We had George pack strawberry, and he's allergic to strawberries.
He didn't say anything.
Well, he foiled the plan, and he's alive, and we're very upset about it. In the back, we've talked to Melissa, and we've talked to Tim.
So did you guys cover the whole prepping of the pots?
I don't know how much we've covered. Why don't you just...
All right, so basically with the prepping is you have a certain mixture of different tobacco and we call it juice. And then we put that together in a pot. Then we throw it on the stove, let it boil up. Once it hits a certain point, that's when we have to start stirring the tobacco, mixing all the juice in together, make sure it's a nice even cook. And then from there, we stir it every so often. What we're really looking for is kind of sticky consistency, but where you don't want it too dry, but then it can't be too moist because then the flavor won't stick to it. So we have to find that nice sweet spot.
So how long have you been with Tangiers then?
Wow, over like 6 years now. Started off in San Diego, in a small little warehouse, and now we're in this amazing place, and it's quite a change.
We had a decent amount of employees actually move from San Diego to here. You were not one of the originals that moved with us. You came at a later date, right?
I came at a later date, so I stayed until the last day that they closed down the San Diego warehouse. And literally that day I went in, had my car packed, and left from that warehouse and came straight to here.
Didn't you have longer hair when you moved out here?
I did have long hair. Yeah. I had my beach bum looking long blonde hair. First day, I didn't even get hired yet. I was coming into San Diego, or the San Diego warehouse, applying for a job, and I'm walking through the parking lot for my interview, and then I'll have a bunch of the cooks yelling me, "Hey, Sunshine, how you doing, Sunshine?" And I'm like, oh my God,
that sounds about right.
I'm getting harassed before I even get the job.
So were you born in New York?
Born and raised in New York, lived in New York for 25 years.
Oh, Jesus. An oddly important question, but what part of New York?
Queens.
Okay. So
still New York City,
right?
Just one of the 5 boroughs.
So why is it important to differentiate like area? You know what I mean? Because like if you talk to somebody in there from New York City, they won't tell you they're from New York City. They'll tell you the borough they're from.
Yeah, it's like you have like LA County, and then within that you have like all your small cities. So if you think of like New York City as like kind of like its own county, and then within that it gets broken up. You got Brooklyn, Queens, Manhattan, Staten Island, Bronx. Yeah.
So you stopped working at San Diego the last day of the factory there, and you came straight here.
Yes.
So what made you want to? I mean, you basically uprooted everything and crossed states to come continue working for the company.
I did that already. I did that coming from New York to San Diego. I literally packed up the car and drove across country. So that aspect wasn't that big a deal to me. I've done it before. I was very hesitant about making that change because there's a lot going into it, but I like working for the company, so I was like, let's keep it going.
So were you into hookah before you started working for Tangiers?
I had smoked hookah back in New York. It was popular, but it was more in certain areas where
it was still like kind of niche. It wasn't
exactly.
It was
like
accessible.
Oh, I just turned 18. I'm gonna go smoke hookah because it's a cool thing to do and I can do it, type of thing.
So what do you normally, if you're gonna pick a tobacco to take home and smoke tonight, what are you taking?
I'm probably gonna go with the Cane Mint because it smokes well. I like the taste. I know I'm gonna get a long time out of it. What was your first Tangiers flavor that you ever tried?
Ooh.
Want to say it was lime.
Lime.
What was the first flavor you smoked?
Cashmere peach.
Ooh.
Yes.
That's a spicy one for the first time.
Hey, the boss smokes it. It's got to be good. So I was like, all right. And I smoked that for a long time.
What do you do outside of work?
Outside of work,
Yeah.
smoking hookah at the gym or
At the gym?
after, before or after? Typically after.
You into sports?
Sports, of course, you know, I got my Yankees, Jets, Rangers.
I think my
Knicks.
favorite Yankees memory is when they totally won the World Series in 2001.
Oh.
Just kidding. That was us. We won the World Series in 2001.
Oh, you guys did. Oh. Was that your first one?
Oh, it was our only one.
Oh, your
Yeah.
only
Yeah,
one.
only
Oh, wow. Oh.
Everybody just stare awkwardly into the camera.
Thanks, Eric.
I don't even know what Eric did.
Thanks, Eric.
He's still upset about not going to Vegas.
Yeah.
I'm upset about him not going to Vegas.
Seriously.
Although his bowl was hot dog shit.
How you feeling? Is that strawberry kicking your ass yet?
No, I'm fine.
Okay,
He's not dead.
No hives, no throat swelling.
cool.
All right, so we went over, we briefly touched on our color coding system. Brandon's smoking something red, we're smoking something red, the strawberry that luckily didn't kill you.
Thank you.
So,
Thanks, Eric.
so do you feel like, I don't know, you didn't have a whole lot of knowledge of the color groupings before, but do you feel like you kind of have like a first step in the right direction with
Definitely, like what flavors I should stick with that won't mess up my pipe and stuff like that. I think that's very helpful in
Yeah.
that aspect.
that? All right, well, I'm about done smoking for the day. We'll let you go back to whatever the fuck it is you do in the back.
Get out.
Get out.
Get out.
Just like
Whoa.
MTV Crib style, and just like run him out the door.
You're gonna carry me out?
Yeah.